He who controls information controls the universe. A very interesting line given to us by the informant Fisher Sky. Plus, it's another great win for the UTS president Yumu in what was a very fun and interesting episode of Go Rush. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're here to talk about episode 17 of that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush anime series, an episode that continued the theme of information, and it taught us the importance of knowing the type matchup your opponent has. Now, I don't know if anyone else saw this or if it was just me, but while watching this episode I did get slight Nail vibes from Fisher Sky, in the way how both characters follow something that they both clearly believe in and think is absolute. For Nail's character in 7th, it was his providence, and for Fisher Sky, it's information. Both of these characters got their views slightly changed / developed upon their defeat. Nail, after losing to Yuga, understood that his providence could change or be slightly off, while Fisher Sky understood the importance of information, but sometimes it can blind you to unpredictability, thus making you unprepared for misinformation or something new when it arises. Now, it's fine that both these characters believed in this stuff and they continued to believe in their providence and information respectively, but they're developing their approaches to doing so. We saw that with Nail's character in 7th, and we're starting to see slight hints of that with Fisher Sky. So if he does return, I'd like to see how he develops moving forward. Now, in terms of Fisher Sky's playstyle, I really liked how it fitted in perfectly with his hunger for information. By this I mean he wanted to learn more about UGS and UTS, so it's understandable that he would know what is in the decks that they use and the cards that they play with. This would then play into the matchup because it allowed him to create a deck that was designed to counter Yumu's like monsters and UGS's deck as well to some degree. The downside to this, however, is that it made his deck seem gimmicky, and I get the feeling that we aren't going to see him duel much more in the future, unless they give him DNA destruction or a spell card that changes your opponent's attributes. The monsters that he uses are called Sky Fossils, which are wind zombie type monsters, and these look really goofy, but I really like them. The designs for the spell and trap cards he uses as well are fantastic. I like them. Again, the deck is very anti-light attribute friendly, which makes it good in certain situations, but bad when against anything else that isn't a light attribute deck, as seen with the introduction of Red Boost Dragon. So then, with the summon of Red Boost Dragon, it now appears that Yumu has an ace monster that is a reference to Blue Eyes and now Red Eyes Black Dragon, which is really awesome. Also, we see Yumu using Dark Rebellion and a Royal Demons card, both referencing Yuga and Roa. Keeping with the references though, we know that Yumu got the cards from a yellow booster pack, which could actually be a reference to the set called Lightning Impact, which you can see cards from Roa's and cards from Yuga's deck because they're both on the cover as well in there respectively. As for Fisher Sky, in terms of his character, I really like the display of personality and emotion that was displayed here. It showed him being very thorough in his investigation of UTS. The segments with UTS trying to prove the Sky doesn't know everything was actually rather funny. But we also get to see a bit of cockiness from Fisher, as he always thought that he knew everything. So in his mind, his plan and countermeasures were always perfect. Still though, despite that slightly cocky attitude and those evilish expressions that they displayed, he is, or they are, an honourable fish. A fish of their word. In defeat, they gave some information and info. Now, no one knows where Gohard Unit is, not even Fisher Sky, but he does give us a slight location to where we can start searching. It's a place called the Badloon Castle, which looks to be that building that we see in episode 15, located in the dark side of town, in the alien residency area. However, the difficulty is only those with a macho ranking can enter, as it's mostly run by the Royalvan Bandits. Now these group of people look to be all the same in terms of their design, but what interested me the most about seeing them were their horns, as it looks similar to the horns on the big skull at the back of the image that they were shown in, just slightly smaller. And with them being bandits, and of course them having this skull-like theme to them, it does remind me of some of the cards that Yoshio used in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, where they were kind of apocalyptic bandit, I don't know, rat running around people. Just briefly. One question I want to know though is, could we be heading towards a mini tournament arc of sorts, as our heroes look to be heading to a place called the Colosseum, a place where they'll surely find some different and unique duelists and a challenge to overcome. Will we see all the duels on screen? Personally, I think not, due to time constraints, but it looks like Yushi still can't rest easy. The fear and scares keep chasing him, based on what we see in the next episode preview. Lastly, real quick, I want to talk about Yumu in this episode, because she really showed a lot of passion and her love for dueling, making her feel more like a duelist in this episode. In previous duels that she's been showcased in, we've seen sparks of that passion, but in this episode you really get to see her having a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, which is exactly what rush duels were created to bring in the beginning. Rush duels were meant to put duels in the hands of kids again, allowing them to have a good and fun time. And we see Yumu doing exactly that, even though she has a chance of losing or a chance of winning. I really like it. Respectful. So yeah, overall this episode was great in my opinion, and for me it at least delivered on the duel, and it gave us some great character interactions and expressions. I'm really liking the non-dueling characters' input when commentating on the duel, even if sometimes it is just a way for the episode to pad out its runtime. But we do also get some very unique and useful commentary thrown in sometimes. For example, we had in this episode, they were talking about how Fisher Sky, they upped the attack points of their monster in order to avoid Bluetooth's effect destroying them. And I quite like that. Of course, it's easy for us to know that, but sometimes with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards have like 50 million effects, and it can be, you know, hard to remember them all. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments down below. If I missed anything out, feel free to share and we'll have a chat about it as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And of course, I'll be bringing you more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content in the future. Have a great day. Alligator, Madanit. Goodbye.